Hey, Gator Nation. Welcome back to the Respect Our Decision podcast. As always, I'm your boy Hirsch, and with me is Mike
What's going on?
and the hype man Wes.
What's good? What's good, Gator Nation?
Hey, guys. Got a jam-packed episode for you tonight. Lots to talk about. Recruiting, LSU week, Pick Ems. Man, we got it loaded down. As always, we want to remind you to go ahead and download each and every episode wherever you get your podcast from. We're there. And if you'd like to check us out on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Respect Our Decision. Make sure you hit notification bell so you get a notification every time we upload new content. New stuff going up all the time. And as always, guys, if you would like to support us as creators, check us out on Patreon. Respect Our Decision. We want to just let you know that each and every dollar that we get for this show, we put back into the show. We're not in this for profit. We're in this because we love the Gators. And we just want to keep doing what we're doing and bring the best content possible to you. So just go ahead if you would like to support us and check us out on Patreon. Before we jump into it, we want to give one more shout out to our sponsor, Camwood Supplements. Make sure you go on over to camwoodsupplements.com. If you want good, clean supplements for your workout, for your post-workout recovery, or just greens for your digestive health, can't recommend them enough. Make sure you use code RESPECT20. Save yourself 20% off your purchase. And as always, guys, with that being said, we're going to jump right into it. Each and every week, first and foremost, we get to our recruiting tidbits. And as always, our man Wes is going to come to us and talk to us a little bit about Friday Under the Lights and what our recruits did this week on the gridiron. Wes?
Yeah, appreciate it, Hurst. Going to highlight a couple guys this week, as we always do. We're going to do three of our commits, and then we're going to go with one target. And I picked him specifically for a purpose that we'll discuss later on. But I wanted to go with this guy first this week, in Tyree Patterson, because he's one of the kind of underrated wide receivers, in my opinion. The kid had a senior night this week, this Friday. Excuse me, not this week, but this past Friday. He had 9 catches for 141 yards and two TDs on his senior night. So big shout out to Tyree Patterson for closing out his senior night. Kid has put up some big numbers this season at different times in throughout the season. So big shout out. Wanted to highlight him this week because a lot of people look at him as one of the lower rated wide receivers in the class. This guy is, he's on here every week, and I can't not stop putting him on here. I do it specifically for Mike because that's Mike's boy. But Creed Whitmore, again, playing quarterback. He's going to be wide receiver at UF, but he's just an athlete. He had 2 TDs on the ground. One was, I believe, like a 4-yarder, but before the 4-yard, he had a 35-yard scamper from the QB position. Then he also had 2 in the air as well. One was a 48-yard bomb. So Creed is just doing spectacular things. I know to me, he's my guy to hopefully run back punts next year. I know that's a sour position for us as far as we want to see more explosion back there. And the things I've seen him do on film as far as being an athlete, just being a guy making plays at the high school level, I can really see him returning punts for us next year, hopefully. Another guy, one of the catalysts for the class as far as doing some recruiting on his own, a very outspoken guy, is our running back. And I kind of hope and I think that Treon maybe get a bump. I know he was hurt last year, and this year he's putting it all together. Treon had 14 carries for 105 yards and 2 TDs on the night. He didn't play the whole. I think he got a late touchdown to put the game away in the fourth quarter. But
Last play of the game.
To Treon. Yeah. So yeah, big shout out to Treon. He's started doing his thing, and I hope he gets the bump that he deserved, especially coming off the injury that he had in his junior year. And the guy I want to highlight, we're going to talk about him later. You guys know I'm very, very excited about the 24 class. To me, I go over that later about why I think the 24 class is the one that I look at as far as for a coach. But DJ Lagway, the kid had more touchdowns than incompletions, guys. And it's not like he threw the ball 10 times. or 16 times like AR did last week. He had 26 out of 29, 5 TDs for 300 yards. I mean, a couple weeks ago, he had another stat line like this, and he also had some yards on the ground. But to me, this is the key guy for the 24 class. And like I say, we may expand on that later. But shout out to DJ. He was 89.6 percentage. I mean, that's just outrageous. The kid was phenomenal. Had a great night. So shout out to DJ Lagwave and he's again a 2024 guy. You guys want to talk about anybody you saw there, or anything you want to add to about the 4 guys that I highlighted for this week?
Yeah, real quick before Mike says something. Tyree Patterson, like you said at the beginning, kid is silently putting together a really, really solid season. And I know there were rumors he may flip to UCF back around Friday Night Lights, but as of now, from all I've heard, I don't see that happening. I think Tyree's going to stay in this class, and like you said, I hope he gets a bump because he's putting up huge numbers week in and week out. Very under the radar kid who has silently had a tremendous senior season. Mike?
Yep. Yeah, and well, just to piggyback off for Patterson, he has a size that the other receivers do not, and I'm just happy to see my boy Creed just continue to be all that he can be.
Yeah,
and sadly enough, Creed took a dive in the 247 rankings today. He fell to a 3-star. It's ridiculous.
I don't understand that.
I don't know. I don't know what those guys are watching, but maybe it's because they have him, thought of as a receiver and he's playing quarterback. But the kid is he's a tremendous athlete. I don't understand how you make that judgment. But once again, we've talked about the ratings ad nauseum and how that works. So, not gonna hit that up.
Yeah, I was just saying, and you guys who've been following the Friday night, you see that he's been putting up numbers every single week. This is not a 1 or 2. He's been consistently on my list because he's been just special. I do it a lot for Mike too because I know Mike likes to keep up with Creed, but the guy has just been doing it. I didn't have to do it for Mike because he's done it himself. He's earned the spot on the list every week.
And one more tidbit about Creed before we move into everything else. I know there's been some smoke the last few days on the message boards and what have you not that Creed might be talking to Mississippi State. I wouldn't put a whole lot of validity to those rumors, really. He's going to be at the game this Saturday. Obviously, we know his brother plays here already. I wouldn't worry too much about that. I believe that's just message board fodder as always. But with that being said, that's all we really have for you for the Under the Lights this week. But we're going to jump into a lot of recruiting news, guys. It is a huge weekend. We've been harping on it for a while now, that the LSU week was going to be a tremendous recruiting week. And it looks like it's going to pop off starting tomorrow. As of this time tomorrow night, we might have 2 new commitments on our board, and it's going to start tomorrow at about 3:15. Bryce Thornton, safety out of Georgia, is going to commit. He's choosing between us and Alabama, and it ain't Alabama, guys. Just go ahead and say that right now. If you want to follow the quote-unquote tea leaves, if you will, about that, he's scheduled to take an official visit to Florida Saturday. Usually don't commit to the team and then take an official visit somewhere else. So I'll let you go ahead and do what you will with that. And then later tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, the long-awaited commitment of Dejon Johnson is finally going to go down. Mustard, as the Twitter universe likes to call him, finally happening. And I don't really want to spoil that one either, but the kid's taking a visit to Florida Saturday night. So once again, kind of
he's not going to Coral Gables.
Doesn't look like it. They're still waiting on that visit, I believe.
Yeah.
They're still waiting for him to show up. Can't believe it.
Shocking.
So tomorrow, look for it tomorrow, 3:15 and 7 o'clock. Could be another great day for the Gators to kick off the recruiting weekend. I've said it before, and I've said it over and over. Billy's got a plan for all this kind of stuff, and this is just like what he did with Friday Night Lights, having Aiden Mazzell commit right before the weekend started. You start the momentum and let it roll through the weekend, and you know, you got 2 fresh commits come rolling into town to hype up everybody. The guy's got a plan. But I want to take a step back to a visit that took place last weekend before we talk about this weekend. And that's our boy, defensive tackle, Caden McDonald. If you've listened to this show for any amount of time whatsoever, you will know that all 3 of us are tremendous fans of Caden McDonald. I believe it goes without saying. I know Mike is a huge fan of Caden McDonald.
Already called dibs.
Yeah, Mike has the that train left the station. Mike is the conductor on that train.
Yes.
Word on the street, Caden had a tremendous visit. Was very much engaged in the entire game. Was turning around to try to hype up the fans in big play situations. Just had a great time. Another tidbit: Mama loves UF. Now, before you get hyped up, yes, I know Mama liking us don't always pay out. Mr. Perkins, we say hello. But another even more important tidbit is word on the street is that Clemson is not as big a player in this as we had originally thought. They've already got 3 committed interior linemen, defensive linemen, and they're kind of slow playing this one. So that bodes well for us. I mean, it does. Being out of Georgia, I know that Ohio State is considered a dark horse. He visited there the week before he came and visited us. But Mama loves us, close to home, tremendous need. All the signs are looking real good, guys, and he's committing on Halloween. So hopefully that's a treat, not a trick. Because God knows we need that kid, and we've gone on ad nauseum about how we need that true nose tackle. And if we get McDonald, Mike might not talk about the defensive line for the rest of the year.
No need to. It's complete.
Oh, wait. That being said, as of now, I'm going to break Wes's heart. Keon Keeley is not visiting for LSU. I'll say it now. I'm just going to put it out there. Y'all call me negative. Call me whatever you want. I'm just trying to be straight with everyone. If Keeley doesn't make this visit, it's probably done for. It's probably going to come down to Bama and Ohio State. I believe it's already there. He visited Alabama last weekend. If we can't get him to come for this big weekend, I'm not saying that he wouldn't come for another weekend, but this was the weekend. So, I've heard rumors that maybe he's got somebody handling him that UF doesn't like doing business with, but at the same time, sometimes if you want to get these big 5-star recruits, you might have to deal with a couple of people you don't want to deal with. Comes with the territory, and I've said it before. Other big teams deal with handlers. You got to make your choice on that one. On you know. So I hate to be the bearer of bad news on that front, but that's about the only real bad news we have. There are conflicting reports on if Roderick Kearney, the offensive tackle committed to Florida State, is going to visit us or Florida State this weekend. Florida State guys are saying he's coming there for an official. Some Florida guys are saying they think he's coming here. It may be a case of he just shows up at the school and that's when everybody knows for sure where he's going. If he comes here, it's good news. If he goes to Florida State, I'd have to say that doesn't look nearly as promising as we once thought, but we'll just wait and see. So, guys, this visit list is stacked for this weekend. I mean, stacked. This is one of the most stacked visitor lists we've had in a long, long time at the University of Florida for a game. Starts off with the official visitors. We talked about it last week. 5-star James Smith, defensive tackle out of Alabama, and his teammate, 5-star defensive end, Kua Resall, both coming in for official visits. I'd always have to say 2 high-star kids from Bama are Bama bound, but they have genuine interest. So you get them on campus, get them hyped up, see where it goes. Gator commit Marcus Stokes, quarterback commit, will be taking his official visit to Florida. I know a lot of people are like, well, why is he taking an official visit? Well, you got to remember that Stokes was committed to Penn State and he hadn't made as many visits to Florida as some other kids have. So, and then as I mentioned earlier, safety Bryce Thornton, who's committing tomorrow at 3:15, will be taking his official visit to Florida. So you can go ahead and put the pieces of that together all you will. Unofficial visitors, Deshaun Johnson, like I mentioned before, coming on in for a visit. This will be his third or fourth visit since the season started. Here's a surprise, though, that just popped up earlier this week. Defensive tackle Xavier McLeod out of South Carolina, that's committed to South Carolina up in Wes's neck of the woods. Defensive tackle. Very surprised, given that he was probably not a take for us earlier, that they're bringing him in for a visit. But I'd have to imagine at this point that's just kind of a backup plan. If somebody like McDonald or John Walker, we weren't able to flip him, I believe. I know, Wes, you've heard there's several concerns with that young man.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, he also had grade concerns, which might mean why this isn't an official visit. I don't know if that's still a policy they uphold or not, but I know that you had to have qualifying grades to even take an official visit. So I wouldn't read too much into that. I think that's just keeping your options open just in case. Another visitor that kind of just popped up earlier this week is a graduate transfer out of Georgia Tech, a linebacker, Demetrius Knight. I think that's some due diligence too. I've also kind of heard that there's nothing really to that right now. And that might be if we didn't land someone else, bring him in as a body. You just kind of have to wait and see how it goes there. And pretty much every kid we got committed for the most part is coming into town, except Jakeem Jackson, who will be taking an official visit to Kentucky this weekend. Now, before you freak out, this has been planned for quite a while. His brother goes to school there. He's going up there, visit his brother. Kentucky's paying for it. Don't get too upset about Jakeem Jackson going up there for a visit. He was tweeting out tons of pro UF stuff yesterday, including talking to Deshaun Johnson on Twitter. So I think we're safe. Corey Raymond likes this kid a lot. He loves him. And he took a jump on the 24/7 rankings today. He went up to like 146 in the country. So
on 3-2. He jumped down on 3-2.
He's steadily moving up the rankings, and I believe people are starting to realize that this kid is a true shutdown corner. For a while, Jakeem Jackson was kind of like, oh, that's the other corner we took. Like, oh, who is that guy? But he might end up being the second best defensive back in this class when all's said and done.
Corey Raymond.
Corey Raymond got an eye for these things, huh? Still up in the air as of the time we record this broadcast. John Walker, committed to UCF, defensive tackle. He's made several visits already this season. Jordan Hall, defensive tackle. He's a maybe, but I don't think he's coming, guys. I think he's pretty much locked in with UGA right now. Just calling it what it is on that. I wouldn't get my hopes up too big on that, but it looks like we're in good shape on the defensive tackle board for the guys, we need to close out this defensive line class. And finally, Cormani McLean is a likely, I would say. Guys, if I had to put money on it, I would bet Cormani McLean shows up Saturday night. We'll see what happens, but I would almost guarantee you he's going to be there. 2024 though is, man, whew. There are a lot of 2024 kids coming in. I know Wes is excited. Kicking it off with the number 1 and number 2 wide receivers in the country for the 2024 class. Hosea Trader and Jeremiah Smith, teammates down there from South Florida. Both right now if you asked anybody in the business, would probably say those are both Ohio State leans. Our nemesis Brian Hartline up there taking all the talent from Florida. But man, you get those kids on. They're not going anywhere else in the state. They're not going to watch, Florida State, Clemson. You get them on campus, man. Like I said, you let Mike's boy Kerry Colbert sprinkle some pixie dust out there and see what happens. Some other names. Golly, Wes brought him up a second ago. DJ Lagway will be back on campus for this week. Guys, I can't remember a kid from this far away, from Texas, making this many visits in a single year. And we're not even into his his main recruiting year yet, where we can officially visit. You have
that's
to.
That's what I was gonna hop on. Like,
go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just saying, like, for it to be his junior year, he's visited us a lot. And I know quarterbacks tend to commit early because they're usually the leaders of the class. So usually you want to get your QB commit in early and get him committed early so you can start recruiting the rest of the class. So it bodes well for us that he continues to come on out. But I didn't mean to cut you off. I just want to add that.
No, you're good. You're good. I wanted you to chime in. I knew you wanted to talk about him.
Yeah.
Guys, I mean, just good Lord. I mean, a kid coming this many times. This is all I will say. I'm not going to say anything. It's all positive to me, but you got to land this kid. You can't keep having this kid come on to campus and not get him. I mean, if you don't, the optics, I don't usually play the optics game. I think sometimes that's very overblown, but it is very clear the staff has put everything into this kid. So, and it's paying off so far. I mean, he's making the visits. He could not be making the visits. So, got to land him. Top 100 running back Stacey Gage coming in. I truly feel like they're looking at Stacey Gage as probably being running back one in this class to go with Chauncey Bowens, who's already committed. I know a lot of people want Jarrett Gibson. I don't know how that's going to work, former commit, but I know that this is about the third time this season so far that Stacey Gage has made it to the Swamp. Big time recruit though, top 20 edge rusher, Eli Rushing out of Arizona. Huge commit for the 2024 class. Son of former Gator George Rushing. I know that Elijah has said he's kind of going to make his own decision, that just because his dad played at Florida, he's going to be his own man about this, but you got to feel good about this one. Really need to go ahead and try to get that one locked in. I know that linebacker Darius Hayes is supposed to be there again, top 50 linebacker. I could see that one possibly ending sooner than later. I know that that Graham is all over him, trying to get him in the class with him. Top 100 safety Jalen Hayward's going to be there. A four-star defensive tackle Eddie Pierre Luis, who's the cousin of Garage, is going to be there. Just four-star linebacker Chris Jones. Just 2024 kids are loading into this. And then as far as we even got a few 2025 kids, you're going to have a number one receiver in the 2025 class. Caleb Cunningham going to be there. And Vernell Brown III, 2025 athlete, is going to be in the house as well. Gator legacy as well. This is just an absolute. There's a lot more than this, guys. I just highlighted on the best of the best that are going to be there. It's going to be quite the environment this weekend, guys. I mean, what do y'all have to add?
I'm glad it got. I'm glad it was good strategy, like Friday Night Lights that we've spoken about previously. That it was delayed for this game, and we get that. We're gonna have should have a couple pleasant surprises tomorrow. Ride that wave into the weekend. Hopefully, get those pleasant surprises. build that momentum. And once again, you never know what happens. Sparks could start flowing. A couple surprise visitors, and really build up that class. We should be jumping some guys even more higher into the top 10. And once again, you get somebody like Cormani on campus as well. Just once again, just ride the momentum. You can just truly tell, and it's what I like about Billy. He has a plan. I think you keep saying
everything.
that, Hirsch. He, like, with this recruiting, he has a plan, and even we have maybe we lose here, we lose there, but the main thing is we've shown that we are a competent football team. We have improved, and that's all that really matters. At the end of the day, you don't need to win a national championship, contend for divisional titles. Honestly, it's irrelevant. Just show that don't be Willie Taggart, and you will get kids. So I'm very excited for this weekend.
Wes, anything you want to add? I mean, man, this got to be a dream for you, all these 24 kids.
He almost had a stroke.
The reason why I feel like the 24 class is the most important to me, this is not anybody else's thinking but mine. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but the reason why I said that is because it's Billy's and the staff. We hopped on this early when we were first started, before even the season started. We were really on recruiting when we had Friday Night Lights, etc. It's the staff have over a year, first of all, to recruit these kids. I know people like the bump class, the initial class, and to me, that class will be his infrastructure that's why I don't like when coaches get fired and people think the year 3 is the big year, because year 3 you still have the other guys as your juniors and seniors. You don't have your guys yet. So to me, the 24 class will be Billy's really first year, in my opinion. This is my theory, nobody else's. His first year with over a year to recruit certain players, and that to me, that will be his class that will get him to where he needs to go. And to me, it starts with the most important guy in that class, which is DJ. You get DJ committed, I don't know if it's changed yet, but if you get him to commit, which he said he was going to commit, right when the season is over. And high school football should be over around Thanksgiving, depending on the playoff run.
He said that or early spring.
Okay, so hopefully he does it. End of his high school year, going into his senior year. Spring is a long way away. I want him to get him down, and then to me, that'll give everybody else who we need to get as far as that 24 class. It'll be a big, significant commit, and it'll start Billy's running. It'll buy him the time that the fans want. Whether the fans may be impatient for it. Let me say it that way. If they know, okay, he has the top quarterback in the 24 class, okay, we're gonna chill, we're gonna relax, and then he gets Elijah Rushing, another linebacker to go with Graham, and Stacey Gage, running back, or one of the receivers. Then you start to see that and you're like, okay, let's give him some time. Even next year, that buys you time for next year during the season. So that's why I feel like the 24 class is important.
And don't forget, he's not just playing with the other guys' players. He's playing with the other guys' players.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a combination of MAC and Mullen players on his team, which is just disgusting.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's why I don't like the year 3 thing, because year 3, those guys are still there.
How many coaches take over a program and have the other guys' players to play still? Like, that doesn't happen very much.
Nah.
So, guys, huge recruiting weekend. As we always do, we do our raw reaction at the end of the weekend. If it's a huge weekend, it may be a raw reaction to recruiting and to football game. So we'll see how it goes, how it plays out. Regardless, Billy Napier has a strategy, one that we have not seen in a long time here as far as how to recruit, and it's paying off. Can't wait to see what happens after this weekend and what kind of structure he has going forward from there after, the big official visit weekend. But exciting to have all these kids on campus once again. Feels like old times. But with that, being said, guys, we're going to move on from recruiting because it's LSU week, man. It's rivalry week. So whether you like to call it a rivalry or you don't, they're a rival. And there's no doubt about it. So with that being said, we're going to kick it to Mike, and he's going to give us a breakdown like he does every week. Mike?
Yeah, thanks, Hirsch. Yeah, just started out with the head coach Brian Kelly's entering his first season as the head coach there. In the offseason, he signed a 10-year, $95 million contract coming from Notre Dame, as I'm sure you guys all know. And he was the winningest coach in Notre Dame history. He actually took them to 2 playoff appearances and a BCS title game. Obviously, it's Notre Dame, so they didn't win anything. But he did produce a winner there, for better or worse. Overall this year, LSU is 4-2 overall, 2-1 in the conference, and they did lose to a Mike Norvell-led team. Keep in mind, a certain running backs coach is undefeated against a Mike Norvell-led team. So just a friendly reminder on that. Rest in peace, Sir Gregory Knox. All right. The rivalry, I consider it one. However, in terms of wins and losses, it's the past decade they've had our number. So in the past 10 games, LSU leads the series 7-3. There has been some drama, which really makes it, in my opinion, a true rivalry, especially like off the field. So back with Hurricane Matthews, I call it the Battle of the EDs. It was over logistics with Hurricane Matthew. This ended in a epic goal line stand, handing Gators a 16-10 victory at Tigers Stadium, which actually gave us the division and put us in the SEC title game. The first time I Won't Back Down was played. I was actually at the game. They're banned because they're horrible corn dog human beings. Played over a song. So I mean, I still don't know why they did it, but it occurred, unfortunately. So, and also this Saturday, it's actually the Tom Petty and the inaugural Tom Petty Day at the University of Florida. Something I'm truly looking forward to. So, and the only thing that is certain in this game is uncertainty. I think we can all say that. And no matter how good or no matter how bad a team is, like it's got to be a close game. That's like a game you just never bet on. It's just too dangerous. So, all right, some impact players for them. They, as always, no matter how good or bad, they have talent. Probably their best, arguably their best player there is going to be BJ Ojulari. He's a defensive end, 20 total tackles on the season, 3.5 sacks, and 1 forced fumble. He's a brother of former UGA pass rusher Aziz Ojulari, and who was a second-round pick for the New York Giants. He so far this season he's earned SEC Defensive Lineman of the Week twice. Also, safety Jay Ward, 25 total tackles, 1 fumble recovery, a pick, and 3 passes defended. Their best receiver statistically is wide receiver Malik Neighbors, 28 receptions, 370 yards, touchdown, but for a 13.2 yard average. Their best receiver, talent-wise, hasn't had the best season so far, but I put that more on the quarterback play. Wide receiver Keyshawn Butte, 17 receptions, 130 yards, touchdowns, 7.6 yard per average on that. And he's a first-round talent, so you go to mini mock drafts, you'll find his name there. Now for the season, they started out. It was a quote-unquote neutral site game. It was in New Orleans. They lost that game. I'm sure a lot of you guys saw that in epic fashion on the blocked extra point, 23-24. Week 2, they had Southern U win 65-17. Week 3, Mississippi State, they won that game 31-16. Week 4, New Mexico, they won that game 38-0. Week 5 at Auburn, won 21-17. Once again, to Brian Harsin-led team. So I mean, arguably the worst coach in Power 5, and him and Will Levis, have lived in their own island together. And week 6, last week, where I got killed on the Pick Ems, but they had a huge matchup against Tennessee at home. They got slaughtered. They lost that game 40-13. And a random note, it's actually pretty interesting. They haven't scored a touchdown in the first quarter all year, and they haven't led at halftime. So obviously you want to start quick on them. Now, for the strengths of the team, you want to take that over, Hirsch? You got it?
Yeah, Mike, I sure do. Strengths of the team for LSU. great defensive line. They're going to get some pressure. Offensive line's going to have to be on their game Saturday night. As Mike touched on, also, Butte is there. He leads a pretty strong wide receiver core for them. So a lot of the mistakes we had in the last game as far as coverage and whatnot, we're really going to have to make sure we're shored up this week, because they're gonna challenge us. And then their safeties are very good. I mean, they're gonna have very good safety play. So AR's got to be careful with that ball throwing over the middle, and some of those, routes he tried to force in there last week, he may not be able to do this week. They'll get jumped. So, gotta work on staring off the safeties, get them off the play. But they also have their share of weaknesses. Offensive line, pretty weak. Our defensive line should have a decent day if they play as strongly as they have the last few weeks. And not the usual cornerback group you would expect at LSU. Corners usually, obviously, we know Corey Raymond is here now and what he's brought to them in the past and all the DBU debates. But this is definitely one of their weaker groups, which is probably why he was ready to come on down to Florida.
didn't help. They lost their best, though. They lost.
Yes, they did lose their best to Bama. Now he wishes he was not at Bama. But it's not always greener on the other side, especially when Nicholas is there. So, and I would also add their quarterback is fairly still raw. He's good with his legs, but he still needs to be tested on his arm. And I would also add this as a weakness too. They've played one game out of the state of Louisiana, and they struggled mightily in it.
Heavy home schedule.
That's heavy.
I noticed that. Like when I was like, had they? Yeah, literally what you said. I'm like, this is
the one game they played away from home was at Auburn, which they were in a dogfight with, and Auburn is terrible. 7:00 game in the swamp. Could be funky. So with that being said, guys, we're going to move on down from LSU, and we're going to talk about the Gators for a second. Right before we came on the air tonight, the depth chart got released, and there's a few things that bear talking about. We got some injuries on there that we need to discuss first and foremost. One being Osiris Torrance is questionable on the depth chart with what is listed as a lower leg injury. I don't know what that exactly entails, but he's also listed as the starter on the depth chart. So we're just going to have to wait and see. I guess that's going to be a go give him a warm up on Saturday and see how it responds, and then go from there. Devin Moore is out as well, as he was last week, listed with an upper body injury. I don't know what it is. So we're just going to have to, I guess, maybe he'll say something here at some point about what's going on with Devin, but we're going to miss him. That's for sure. And as far as the depth chart goes, Jack Miller is back on the depth chart. So I guess in case that if there was a need, our boy Kitna has stepped back to third. I know Mike is feeling the pain on that one. And
mute,
also,
Mike.
He made some believers. I'll leave it at that.
Made a believer. And Tarquin is back on the depth chart as well, but it's listed as a or with Austin Barber. So that might be one of those where they get out there and just see how his body responds, and if he's ready to go back from that leg injury he was dealing with. Guys, any thoughts on the depth chart on the depth chart and the injuries?
I like the fact that we have obviously I have I looked, huge stan of Austin Barber, but I in the day Tarkin was starting for a reason, and I like the fact that we have an option now. So anytime you have an option for a better player, even if Austin needs more time, he needs more time. If he doesn't, and he does, rule of thumb, you're not supposed to lose your spot, while you're injured. But if he does, he does. So I like that fact that he's back, and we do, Jack Miller, and we actually have a probably quarterback that, worst case scenario, hopefully this never occurs, that, like a Kentucky type game or Missouri type game, I won't say Missouri, he was better in that, but like a Kentucky type game occurs, that we have a legitimate option, at least in the coach's mind, where they're comfortable and where, to get the job done for the win. Wes, what do you
Wes,
think?
anything you want to add?
Yeah, you guys highlighted eloquently about their D line. I want people to understand, even though LSU has not looked good, it could be the same thing that we're saying with a first year coach and some guys there that may not fit what he's trying to do. Mike has highlighted that even though we don't really care for him too much, he is a pretty good coach. So they still have athletes down there at LSU, and you guys talked about their D line, and with Torrance not being healthy, that may hurt us, especially with their best player, Mike said, is in fact an interior lineman. So is he interior or is defense end, Mike? I want to make sure I don't say the wrong thing. Is he interior
He's a defensive end.
Say it one more time.
He's a defensive end.
Oh, defense end. Okay, so but still, their D line is pretty good. You highlight the unit as a whole. So hopefully Torrance is able to play. Good, like you said, to see Barber fill in for Michael Tarquin. But in case of an injury goes down, if something happens and take Tarquin or Barber is not able to go, it's good to have a more healthy offensive lineman, especially when the strength of the other team is their D line. So that's the only thing I want to highlight and point out, that they still have dudes over there at LSU just because they're 4-2. They're in their fourth year, but they still guys who know how to play football. And I think there's just kind of been similar eyes. I think you guys pointed they hadn't left Louisiana but once. We've only left Florida once to go play Tennessee, I believe. So it's kind of crazy that we both have kind of had the same type of schedule early on.
Yeah, but we got to worry. They got to worry about it. So
yeah, yeah. I just thought about. I was like, God, yeah, they haven't. We kind of similar thing to us too. So
yep. So guys, as we always do, as well as we started doing last week, I guess I shouldn't say we always do. We're going to get to what we like to call, as I said last week, our pick six, where we go over 3 things that the Gators need to do to beat LSU, and then 3 things we need to avoid versus LSU. And we're going to start off, with what we need to do to beat LSU. Wes, you want to start that off?
Yeah, no problem. I don't want to say it's simple. I know people, me myself included, were disappointed with AR not throwing for even 100 yards. Mike brought it up in the other podcast, and we have to run more plays. 40-something plays is not enough. We getting time possession is not in our favor right now. The week before, they did the same thing against who did we play the week before? Was it LSU? Was it not LSU? Excuse me, Tennessee. Eastern Washington, they had more time possession. I don't know why I say LSU, my bad. Eastern Washington had more time. They ran more plays. Even though we had big splash plays, we got to control the ball more, which means converting on third down. Our third down offense has been like awful. And that's the way you stay on the field, to get more possessions, to run more plays. And I know in the second half, we kind of ran the ball more, so AR wasn't throwing the ball. So the 50 yards or so that he threw for, compounded by the lack of plays, run 40-something plays, there's not enough plays for me to you got to be at least 60, 70 plays. You would love to be in the 90s and tire the other team out like we've been getting, has been getting done to us the last couple of weeks, even by, like I said, Eastern Washington. So stay on the field. Offense has to stay on the field. We got to find something in third down to convert and getting maybe more third and manageables. We have proven not to be a 3rd and 8, 3rd and 12 team where we can convert through the pass game. So let's see more 3rd and manageables, 3rd and 5s, 3rd and 4s. third and mediums. Let me say not manageable, third and mediums. It doesn't always have to be third and shorts, even though that's preferred. Let's do it that way. Or if Etienne and Johnson is getting not letting it get a third down, I would love that too. But I want to see some sustained drives, not just 80-yard, 60-yard bomb or run. Let's get some sustained drive and give the defense time to rest up on the other side, because they've been playing a lot of plays the last 2 weeks. So that's my thing.
Mike, what's your need to do to beat LSU?
The biggest one is we need an average football game from Anthony Richardson. Like, he doesn't have to be all world like he was at Tennessee. But if he plays like he did at Kentucky or Missouri, we will lose this football game. That's the bottom line. That's not me being negative. They're not a bad. LSU has been playing better throughout the season. They have talent, and they will beat us if we play like that. If we play, Missouri is a bad football team. Should have been a blowout. So a lot of people need to realize that they could have came down. They could have won that game, come down and score, and gone for 2 and beat us. And a lot of people need to sit back and realize that should have been a blowout the second quarter. So and it's because, once again, we're not getting the job done through the air. So if you just pass the ball 150 yards, 200 yards, okay, that's fine. 100, whatever. But you got to between protecting the ball, not turn the ball over, just get an average football game. That's literally it. You don't have to be all world, but you need to make those easy passes, those little swing balls. You got to make the easy passes, not just the ones that put you on ESPN. So that's the biggest one. And also start fast. How I was saying before, they start extremely slow. So that needs to be, you need to, once again, Missouri does as well, but we didn't capitalize on that. So you need to put them away early and get in a position where you can, get them out of their comfort zone, because their quarterback can't throw the ball. He's a one read go type of guy. So.
Yep. Y'all are both 100% correct. Mine is we need to get pressure. LSU's offensive line, as we mentioned, is not good. They're 122nd in the country in sacks allowed. We got to get pressure, man. We've got the guys to do it. They've shown they have the talent. I want to see Brenton Cox in the backfield. I want to see Gervon Dexter in the backfield. I want to see him make some plays. I want to see Wes's boy, Chris McClellan, chasing some guys around. Princely had a huge game last week. I would like to see it again. He's starting again this week. Any of these guys, maybe show some blitzes, get these guys confused. Make Daniels earn it, man. Don't just give it to him. And we'll kill it. So with that, we need to move on to 3 things we need to avoid. And that being said, we're going to start off with Mike this time on the things we need to avoid. Mike?
It kind of goes to what I was saying with Jaden Daniels. He's one read go pretty much guy for the most part. He's decent quarterback, not far from the best, but he has some. He's an athletic quarterback.
He's their leading rusher.
Yeah, exactly. So very, very, very selfish. But end of the day, though, our weakness for eons has been, and we've spoken about this on the podcast, scrambling quarterbacks. What is he? A scrambling quarterback. What did we give up? Chunk plays. So we have to avoid chunk plays. 3rd and 22. Give up. I don't know if you have to do QB spy, more zone. Don't rush upfield. Keep your lanes. Whatever. Certain stunts. Rush up the middle. There's a lot. Tony's a lot smarter than me. All right, I'm just spitballing here, but end of the day, don't let him beat you on 3rd and long, for example. That's the bottom line. Get him uncomfortable.
One thing I can add is if you have him, wrap him up.
Yeah. Everything you just said.
Baby steps.
All your suggestions
I
were
can't.
right,
You
Mike.
gotta walk before you can run. What was that, Wes? Sorry.
I was saying all your suggestions are right. Whether you got to do stunts, whether you get Bernie to spy or Shamar James, who may be faster than Ventrell, to spy him. Like you said, stunts or play discipline, not hero ball on the ends to contain him inside the
that's
pocket.
huge. You're absolutely correct
so
on that.
Yeah.
Think about the Tennessee game, guys, and how many times we had Hooker in the grasp.
Yeah.
Just had him in the grasp, not him just deciding to run on us. We had him. We had hands on him.
Yeah.
We can't finish the play, man. People got to break down and finish the play.
Yeah, and as a D lineman, you're taught not to run past a certain point.
Oh, I know. And we do it every time.
Open lanes.
I love Brenton Cox's ability, but he's got to play smart in this game. Got to play smart. If you've got that head-on steam, you've got to have some predictability. You got to predict the future a little bit and know where the guy's going to cut on you. Take the angles away from him. All right, Wes, what you think we need to avoid this game?
Coverage bus. We winning on first and second down. Third and long seems like third and Grantham, and guys are finding their way open on those third and longs, and it's driving me crazy. It's driving me insane. We got some third and longs against Mizzou last week, and then especially in that fourth quarter, it was like driving a screwdriver through my head, man. It was painful to watch. I didn't want to see it. So hopefully we can avoid those coverage busts. I'm not naming names to say who it as a unit. They have to communicate well and understand assignment football. Same thing as the D-line. We just talked about the D-line playing their assignments and playing discipline. Our entire secondary, not just one guy, the entire secondary has to play as a unit. Football is a team sport. 11 guys all have to be on the same page. D-line and the linebackers doing what they're supposed to do, and then the back end's not doing it. And the same thing, if the back end's doing their part, then the linebackers have to be where they need to be when we playing in zone coverage. They have to sink when they need to sink. They have to be in the flats when they need to be in the flats. Everybody has to be on one accord, and that makes a great defense when everybody is supposed to be at. Napier spoke about this. I think he's called a phase 4 guy. I remember he spoke about this before even season start. That's when you know what you're supposed to do. You know what the guy next to you is supposed to be doing. You know what the offensive guy and vice versa. So I need to see more phase 4 or even phase 3 guys when you know what the guy next to you is supposed to be doing. So I want to see our defense play more assignment football and no more coverage bust when we've won on first and second down. Me and Mike kind of highlighted this a couple weeks ago when we said the best third down defense is first and second down defense. Because if you win on first and second down, which we did last week, you put yourself in an advantageous situation to win third down. This time we have to finish. When you put yourself in that position, you got to finish it. So that's all I have to say. No more bust.
No more bust. All right. Well, mine kind of goes back to what we were talking about AR and LSU having good safeties. And goes back to what Mike said a minute ago about AR as well. AR doesn't need to be a hero and force the ball into coverages. LSU is 29th in passing defense in the country, and they're 28th in takeaways. If you force the ball into coverage, they're going to make you pay for it. You've got to play smart. If the play isn't there, either run or throw it away. I mean, or find a check down. I mean, you've got options, but don't just try to force the ball into coverage for the sake of, well, that's my read and that's where I'm going with it. Because they're going to make us pay, and you're not going to get away time after time. I mean, he had one force last weekend. The ball didn't get intercepted, and the next time it did, pretty much on the same play. He can't have those kinds of plays this game. Mike, you had something you wanted to add real quick?
Yeah, and if I didn't hear this correctly, I do apologize. They're even better on defense in terms of their passing. So they definitely make up for their corner play with their safeties and linebackers as well, in pressure. So their total defense and scoring, like you said, was 29th, passing defense 28th, takeaways 14th, even better than that, and then 14th. and an opponent red zone percentage.
Thanks for Mike for those stats. I read it wrong on my little sheet here.
No, not a problem. So I thought I caught that. I just wanted to make sure, like you said, you got to protect the ball. So I just wanted to chime in there.
Absolutely. So, like I was saying, I want to see AR play good in his headspace. Not if a play doesn't go your way, erase it from your mind. Move on to the next play. Don't feel like the whole game is just not going your way because one play didn't go your way. I know we say it every week, guys. We've watched the breakdowns. Plays are there. You just got to make checkdowns, man. You've got to understand, and you got to have a little faith. You got to have a little faith in your offensive line. He looked a little jittery behind clean pocket a few times last week, stepping up and having happy feet instead of setting his feet when the pocket wasn't breaking down around him. He's got to have some trust. Now, I mean, that goes back to hopefully Osiris plays, because I know that's got to be a huge safety valve. But Richie Leonard ain't bad news either if he plays. I don't think we're going to miss too much of a beat there. Even though Osiris is the best offensive lineman we've had here in a very long time. All right, guys. This is the point in the program where we like to choose our impact player of the week. We never seem to almost ever get these right. I think Mike got one right once upon a time. Montrell Johnson, like week 2 or.
I'll just take the dub. We don't need to. Let's just say Mike was right and leave it at that.
All right, Wes, who's it going to be?
I'm going to go with the LSU boy. The Louisiana boy, Trevor.
Jesus Christ.
The LSU boy.
You want to say the whole team?
The Louisiana boy.
At least he's not picking a coach this week.
Not a coach. I'm going to go with Trevor.
Can we ban him from that, by the way? A little impact player.
They need to improve themselves, man. Yeah, Katie but Trevor.
That's the main impact coach is Katie Turner.
Hey, she got to. I should pick her for this week. She got to come through. This week, man. We got a lot of guys
consistent. Yeah. Katie Turner.
I'm gonna pick the facilities next week.
I'm gonna go with. Hey, y'all see how they're ragging on me, man. But I'm gonna go with Trevor this week. Being that he is from the state of Louisiana, and I kind of, when you play, or if you from somewhere and you play in that particular school or whatever, that's your hometown or home state, whatever, you want to have a good game. Yeah, you want to have a great game. Being that he's starting to get more, I think I don't think he led the team in carries last week. I think he was averaging almost like 10 yards a carry last week, or 8, I don't remember. But the kid is my guy. I picked him once before. I hope I don't jinx him. Her said we haven't picked the right guy yet. So Trevor's going to break that curse for me. He's going to have this week, and he's my pick to click.
Pick to click. All right, Mike. Let us have it.
I'm going to go I got to pick Mick Hubert since he's does he count? Can I pull a West again? No, he's Mr. Two Bits, isn't he?
Yeah, shout out to Billy Long for another great video this week.
The GOAT. No, so I'm going with the walk-on. I'm going to murder his name, but I'm going to go for it. Adam Mihalek. That's all. Yeah, that's not correct. But anyways, the walk-on kicker. I should have left it at that. Anyways, I'm going to go with him, and I think Matthew's pass defense is going to be too good for Anthony Richardson. He will have an average game, unspectacular, but that's fine. But I think with the red zone defense as well, we're not going to finish drives. So I think we are going to get in range, 40 yards and stuff, 38-yard or stuff like that, which is he's money in. And and you'll see later on with my score prediction, an LSU Florida game with it always being close. Field goal kickers are key. So, and there you go.
Oh boy, I can't believe I'm gonna say this. This is gonna sting. I hope I'm right. I hope I don't jinx him. But I'm going with Amari Burney.
Oh,
Whew, boy.
it's bold.
Hey, we said it. We said it on the
You
Raw
did?
reaction. Amari has gotten better and better week to week. I really feel like the kid has made some severe strides. I know he's still catching heat. He earns a little bit of it. He's not catching a certain number of zeros heat.
He's
but
not catching that heat.
But he's getting better. And given what we said about possibly having to run a spy this week, I think he may be the man on the job. Hopefully somebody is. Like Wes said, I surely don't think it's going to be Ventrell. So I'd have to imagine most of the time it's going to be Bernie, and I hope he does his job and does it well. Maybe, deke somebody into getting himself another pick on the season. Bunch of tackles. I'd love to see it. Kid's been flying all over the ball, and I'd like to see him have a big game at home, night game. So we'll see.
Bateman
all right,
got
guys.
us.
Yeah, Bateman got us. All right, guys. Score predictions. Let's rock and roll. Wes, you the hype man. What do we got?
I'm going to go with 27-20. You win by a touchdown. We all know, despite LSU 7-3 record, I believe Mike's in the last 10. Every game seems like it's close. I mean, every single game. So I probably should have had a little closer, but I'm going to go with us winning by a touchdown, 27-20.
All right. Mike?
It's not 100-0.
Oh.
All right. 25-23 Gators. I pick my kicker, man. Hey, I'm not picking a blowout. No. Double-digit win, loss or win.
25 points. Who scores 25 points?
Hey,
first quarter. That's the first.
Hey, who picks it? Who picks a 16-point underdog on the road?
Oh, Jesus God!
I mean,
you can't live off that anymore. You can't live off that anymore.
All right. I'm going 27-24. I mean, another thriller. Hopefully we make some kicks this week.
Mike's boy.
Hopefully we don't have to kick this week, but if we do, hopefully they're under 40 yards and we make them both. We get a good 27-24 victory. So that's what I'm going with. Well, that's it, guys. It's going to be a good game. It always is. We always know if it can happen and it's weird, it's going to happen. Hope everybody keeps their composure and keeps their shoes on this week.
Too soon, bro.
It ain't never too soon for me.
Too soon.
That's my favorite family of football. Anyway, all right, guys. Well, hopefully our Raw reaction this week is a bunch of good reactions. Let's hope. We need a win against these guys. We've lost too many in a row now. With that being said, boys and girls, it's time. It's that time of the week for the Pick Ems. And boy, I'm starting to sound like a broken record, but your boy Hirsch had another outstanding week on the Pick 'em trail. Whew. I may not be picking 16-point underdogs, but I ain't losing a lot either. So
I think you're just looking at the Vegas odds and picking the favorites, but that's not there.
No, I just know ball, Mike. That's your
well played, salesman. Well played.
Your boy Hirsch went 8-2 again last week. Golly, guys, I must continue to put emphasis on this. Do not use your boy Hirsch's picks for betting. You will lose all your money. I promise you. Mike went 8-2 this week, taking things back from Wes, who went 6-4.
I mean, some things, in the quote of a wise man, some things are inevitable. So,
on the year, Hirsch 44-16. That's nice to look at. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Mike's 38-22, and Wes 1 game back. Mike at a lowly 37-23. Had a few things not go his way last weekend.
Yeah.
But that's all right. We got some slates this week. We're going to do a little something different at the end this week instead of picking 10 games, which we kind of already did, but I'm going to see if these guys stick to it or not for the sake of for the pick 'em. Game 1. Woo. Penn State at Michigan. Boy, this is like picking a cripple fight.
Oh my god! I didn't say it.
Wes, go first.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it short. My allergies are messing with me right now. I'm gonna go with Michigan. I'm gonna go with the Wolverines over Penn State.
All right, Mike.
I'm gonna have to go with the same. I'm going Sir Khaki Pants. Never trust a James Franklin-led football team.
Golly, I really want to pick
with Manny Diaz. You know,
I really want to pick Penn State, but they're just so wishy-washy, man. If this was at Penn State, I'd go with Penn State, but I can't pick them in at Michigan. So, yep, I'm in line with you guys. All right, second one. Ooh, this is a big game. Woo. Bama at Tennessee. Man, who would have thought that would have been a big game? Man.
Try to tell y'all, man.
Mike, go ahead. Kick it out.
Know who he's going. Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah, you don't like hype. I know who you're going with.
I mean, I have certain things I want to say, but I'm not trying to get in trouble here. But I will go with the Crimson Tide on this.
All right, Wes.
Yeah, I'm going with the Crimson Tide too. It's not that it's Tennessee's defense in this game that I don't trust. Their offense is as we've seen is legit. It's just they don't have the defense to even stop Bama. And Bama had defenses better equipped to stop Tennessee. So I'm going with Bama.
Wait, real quick. Young's back, right?
I haven't heard that officially, but he's gonna play.
No.
No.
Even if he doesn't play, I still pick Bama.
He's not gonna be 100%.
Yeah, Tennessee's defense is not like that.
Oh boy.
AR said,
bring this back to me, please.
Oh God, I'm having a hard time with this. Man, I hate to say it. I'm going with Tennessee, guys.
I may have to do this.
No, it's too late. I've already got Tennessee.
I asked you. I said, bring it back to me. It wasn't made.
You see, you're not prepared.
I'm prepared. I mean, has the injury report
guys, is Young playing? That's not prepared.
Go ahead, go with Tennessee. Y'all go with Josh Heupel. Go ahead. Both of y'all go with Josh Heupel. Who you say, Hirsch?
I'm going with Tennessee. I can't. God, I feel dirty saying that.
I'm going with Tennessee.
Yes.
No, I mean, the quarterback can't throw the ball.
My Tennessee defense is awful. AR broke the.
So what? They're awful. They're gonna put up points though, and Bama's giving up points.
Did you not see Bama versus A&M?
All right.
And A&M had the Max Johnson didn't play.
It was the turnovers, man. They had like 5 turnovers.
Well, I mean,
who was exactly?
All right. Well, we'll find out.
Lubo?
Woo. Here's a favorite of the show as they make a weekly appearance. Oklahoma at TCU, the Horn Dogs.
Oklahoma State.
That's what I meant. My fault. God, I got so excited to say Horn Dogs.
Oklahoma on this?
Go ahead, Wes.
Yeah, State. I'm going with State.
Okie State.
Where's the game at?
TCU.
At TCU, man.
Okay, State.
man, I hate picking against TCU, man. They've been my darlings this year.
They should have lost. What else
Yeah, but they can't keep this up. I don't think so. I'm gonna go with Mike Gundy too because he's a man. Damn it.
He was 40.
He was 40 about the same time I was. All right.
Oh, man.
Oh, I'm loving this, man. North Carolina State at Syracuse. Mike, it's your role.
Syracuse, they have no quarterback. I'm sorry, NC State lost their quarterback.
Wes.
Yeah, I was hoping y'all didn't remember, but yeah, I'm going with Syracuse.
Well, you don't think I was going to watch FSU's demise?
No, I thought you might have forgotten. I was hoping y'all didn't remember. I know y'all watch. I was saying I hope you didn't remember.
Yeah. Watch
I'm going with the big orange too, man. We've been on the Syracuse hype train.
You can't catch Hurst like this, Mike. You can't catch Hurst like this, Mike. He's picking up.
Honestly, as long as
I tried to give him an out. But he wanted to double back on Tennessee.
I go with my heart, bro.
All right. The Clemson Tigers at Florida State. Wes.
Clemson.
Go Tigers. Wrong Tigers, but you going anyway. Mike.
I'll pick a team that is not led by Norvell. He's just a bad football coach, man.
Yeah. Clemson's
awful.
Boy, I tell you right now, that inning of FSU North Carolina State might have been beautiful. One of the worst collapses I've seen in football this season.
It was.
I don't care what you say. North Carolina State completed one pass in the second half and rallied to win. How does that happen? Clemson, take the points, take whatever you got. DJ Bunch of Letters runs it up on him.
That's actually a pretty good nickname.
Yeah, DJ Bunch of Letters. I like that, Hurst.
All right. And let us down last week. USC at Utah.
I'm going to go with the Trojans, man. Is my turn first?
I think it is.
Okay, Trojans. Utah hurt my feelings. It caused me to let Mike get my lead back.
Mike?
Try to tell y'all. They're about to lose the end, too.
Oh, so you're going USC? Is that what you're telling us?
Yes, sir.
Man, if this game's at Utah, and I really want to pick Utah to win, but golly, after last week, I just can't do it, man.
Right on my coattails, huh?
That's what happens when you go last every time. Mississippi State and the Pirate at Kentucky. Mike, go ahead and talk to us about the Pirate, because I know you're leaning heavy. You're putting it all on the Pirate. Will Levis-led football team.
I don't even know if he's playing, but I mean, it wouldn't matter because he's not a good football player. So but no, I mean, Mississippi State's playing really good football right now. One of the better follows on Twitter, Mike Leach, and one of the better quarterbacks in the SEC. Let's ride. Get them cowbells ready.
Well, it's at Kentucky, so
okay.
I don't know if they travel. If the cowbells travel or not.
Oh, they travel.
Oh, okay.
You
ring a cowbell in Kentucky, you might get bad results. I don't know what happens if you do that up there. Go ahead, Wes.
Yeah, I'm going with State as well. No reason not to, especially if Will Levis doesn't play. Kentucky's not a good football team.
Yeah, Kentucky got exposed last week. You lose to a Spencer Rattler-led team. You deserve all the bad things coming to you. Take the Pirate. Mississippi State all the way. Interesting game here. Arkansas at BYU. Wes.
Oh my God!
Putting the pressure on him. He loves some Arkansas. He don't want to come off that train.
They let me down last week. Let Mississippi State beat them last week. So I am going to go BYU lost last week too to Notre Dame, and I don't think Notre Dame is good. So this is just crazy. Let's go with I'm gonna get the Sam Pittmans to bounce back.
Okay.
I'm gonna ride with Sam Pittman again.
Mike?
BYU. I don't think that quarterback's healthy yet, even if he plays.
I don't think he is either.
If he's not.
Give me the Mormons. Yes, sir. Give me Jim McMahon University right there, baby. Let's go.
Whoa. Throwback. Hi, Detmer.
Nah, he played for the Falcons. Screw him. Miami at Virginia Tech. Inner Sandman, baby. Let's ride it. Mike.
This is a tough one. They're both bad football teams. Damn, that's tough. I hate to do this.
Yep.
I'll pick the team that's located in Florida.
Oh my God.
I can't even say it.
Wes?
What Mike said.
Virginia Tech is bad. They are really bad.
I might have would have picked Virginia in this matchup, but I'm gonna go with like.
Virginia hands it down.
Yeah.
Pitt, Virginia.
Yeah, definitely Pitt when they play Pitt. Yeah, definitely Pitt. They played Pitt the last game, I believe.
I am an all-time huge Metallica fan. Give me the Hokies, damn it! Give them to me.
Hey, Mike, that's the one we needed to get one game back.
Hey, I don't care. Miami's got to win a damn Division I football game before I'll give them my pick.
Hey, that's something that's something Mike would say. So I give you that, Hirsch. Mike, that's something Mike.
You got to earn it. You got to earn my pick.
Yeah, that's my pick.
Earn my pick.
I don't pick against the Sandman ever.
That's fair.
That's fair. I like that. That's
all right.
Good players.
Number 10, and this is a little different this week, guys. We didn't have a whole lot of great games as a whole, so I want to do something a little different. Vegas line on the Florida game as of when I ran these picks earlier today was 51.5 points over and under. So we're going to say it now. I think we've already all kind of picked this, but I'm going to put y'all to the task on this one. Over under 52 points combined for LSU Florida. Wes.
Under the silence.
What?
And honestly, under. We can't pass a good pass defense. It's a recipe for nothing. And their D line is good. Our O line and their D line will cancel each other out.
My score prediction is right at 52 points. Oh man. So I'm gonna take the under as well. I can't see it happening. I don't know how that works. If your score prediction is 52 points, I guess for this though, I'm gonna have to go ahead and call under. Y'all said, I don't see us scoring that. If we score over that, it'd be a miracle to me. Sorry, not being ugly. I hope they score a lot less than us, but
I want to be wrong. That's what a lot of people realize. I root for myself to be wrong.
Absolutely. I want us to go out and score 50 points a game. I want to live in Westworld.
I don't think anybody wants to live in that world. In that world,
I do. I want to live in a team where I want to live in a world where my team is always on top.
In Wes's world, it rains. It rains gumdrops, and unicorns are walking down the street.
Rains Bud Lights.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Bud Light.
No, I don't.
Let's not do that. Let's omit that.
I don't know. We let Mike get the 5-hour energy drink shout out last week. I mean,
I didn't say
everybody got their drink of choice.
Yeah, man.
All right, guys. It's been another great show. A lot going on, like we said. Only thing that's going to make this a better weekend is pulling out a W. So hopefully the boys get out there. Crowd stays behind them. If you're going to the game, guys, stay up, stay loud. Keep those guys on their heels. Make them work for every call on the field. Mike's 50-50 right now. We might have Mike on the trenches. Don't know yet.
I just got confirmation. It's got confirmation. I have 2 tickets available, so I will be sitting if I go front row. So the Gators side.
Mike,
it's
look for Mike in the trenches possibly this week.
I'm leaning for about to 75-80% right now.
To going?
Yeah, I've had a couple requests.
Sinus infections kind of in the rear view mirror.
No, actually, I was rough on Monday. Gotta be 12 shots. Your boys.
Thanks for the health update, Mike. We appreciate it.
Hey man, I've these trips, man, they're not for the faint of heart. I've been
it's worth saying, man. Take care of your health. Always take care of your health. If you're not feeling healthy, get yourself to the doctor and get a checkup. That's our public service announcement for this week.
Or just go on WebMD if you have the internet.
Yeah, WebMD, man. Check out your symptoms. Self-diagnose. It works for us all.
Yeah.
All right, guys. As always, man, make sure you go out there and download each and every episode. As I said at the top of the broadcast, we're available wherever your podcasts are. You can find us there. We're on all platforms. Please, guys, if you don't mind, like I said before, even if you don't watch YouTube, if you have a YouTube account, go on there and subscribe to our channel. Helps us out a tremendous amount as we grow our brand here and try to bring more content your way. Make sure you hit the notification bell and like the video, and you'll get a notification every time we upload content if you want to look at these lovely faces that we bring before you every week. And as always, if you'd like to support us as creators, visit us on Patreon, respect our decision. As I also mentioned at the top of the broadcast, everything we make, we throw right back into this show. We got a lot coming, got a website on the way. Just trying to up our brand and bring you better content each and every week. So before we jump it out of here, Mike, let us know.
Bateman got us.
That's right. That's right. He does. Oh, I hope he's got us. God knows we need some linebackers. Wes, take us home, brother.
Yeah, appreciate it, Hurst. Again, reiterating what Hurst said, we thank you guys for the support. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys. Love the comments that you guys give us as far as questions and concerns that you may have about the show, as far as what you want to hear from us. So we love that. Continue to support us. We're thankful for the Facebook follows that we got on Facebook. Continue to follow us on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube. Comment on anything. Ask questions that you want to hear on the podcast as far as the team is concerned. We'll try to address those as well. And to our veterans, if you're a veteran and you know someone that's a veteran and they're trying to have questions about trying to get the benefits, please let us know. Ask us on inbox us, and we'll email inbox us, and we'll get those questions answered back to you guys. So we just thank you guys for the support. Continue to support us, and go Gators.
Go Gators.
Go Gators, guys. Love y'all. Take care. Be safe this weekend. And let's beat them corn dogs.